Hi kids, so in today's video we're going to do the flower blooming experiment. You can either download these sheets from our website and print them, or you can just download them for reference. The website link is in the video description. So when you download these sheets, you're going to get in total 7 sheets. So let's go through them one by one. Sheet 1, identify the items in your activity kit and keep them in the order as follows. So you're going to get a blue sheet with 2 flowers, an explanation sheet with smiling molecules. Sheet 2, you're going to get things to collect before you actually start your experiment. Sheet 3 are the instructions. So you can see they are step by step given to you, where you learn how to convert your paper flower into a bud, and then we'll teach you how to bloom them. Lastly, this is the worksheet where there are few questions. Don't worry, the explanation sheet is going to help you solve them, and we'll also do them together after doing the experiment. Step 1 is to collect the items below before we actually do the experiment. So let's see what all do we need. We need a bowl, we need scissors, we need water. We'll get water when we actually do the experiment. And lastly is kitchen towels, but that's optional right now, so it's okay. So kids, now let's start our flower blooming experiment. Let's go to sheet 3 where we have all the instruction. Now we'll follow each and every step of the instruction. So what's our first step? Look for a blue sheet where there's flower drawn and start cutting on the dotted lines. So this is a blue sheet where we have 2 flowers. If you've not printed the sheet, it's okay. You can just see and draw it on any colored paper that you want, and it should be almost of this size, and it can be of 5 to 6 petals. So let's start cutting this. So here are 2 flowers. This is a big one, and we have a small one. So now let's see which is the next step. Let's start with the big flower first, and let's learn how to create a bud from this flower. Then the next step is start folding each petal. Now that we have 5 petal flowers, take 1 petal, start folding it inside. So this is the first petal, as you can see. The second, the third, the fourth, and here is the 5th one. Okay, here, this is a flower bud. What is the next step? Step 4. Take a bowl and put water in it. Now place the bud slowly on the water with the petals facing up to the ceiling. Without tilting, just drop it slowly. So I'm going to get some water, and then let's try to bloom this flower. So as kids, you all can see I'm holding the flower bud with both my hands, where the petals are facing up towards the ceiling, that is towards you, and no tilting, just drop it in water. Now as you can see, when we put the flower in the water, all these white dots and how they are spreading, that is how the paper is absorbing the water. So it started absorbing from here, and then as you can see, it's going up to the petals, and that's how the flower has bloomed. So now we'll take the smaller flower and we'll do steps 3, 2, 3 and 4 for this one. So let's convert our flower into a bud. As you all know, start folding the petals one by one inside. Now that your flower bud is ready for the smaller flower, just put it in water and see the magic. So now that we did the flower blooming experiment, which was kind of magic and fun, but let's learn why did it actually bloom? How is a flower born? So as we all know, we have seeds of everything that we can grow, of all the vegetables, all the fruits, all the flowers. So when you put these seeds in the soil, you nourish them by giving them all the water, giving them water every day, putting them out so that they get sunlight, they get air, and then you can see slowly it sprouts. And when it starts sprouting, then it starts getting converted into the stems. Then you get your roots, then you get your stems, then you get your leaves, and then you get your flowers. Now for a flower, first it starts with a small bud. It drinks up all the water that the root is absorbing and sending it to the flowers and the leaves. And once it slowly starts getting nourishment, it then blooms into a big flower. So that is how a flower is born. Now, how is a paper made? The paper is made up of all these plant materials, which is nothing but series and pipes and all layers of sugar molecules. So you can imagine this is how paper is. It is series and lines and pipes of sugar molecules. So you can imagine this paper is nothing but these sugar molecules all bind together, all holding hands. So, but when they are holding hands, there are few empty spaces, air places between the molecules. So when you put the flower into the water molecules, which are these, they slowly start occupying all the empty places in the paper. That's how water starts getting absorbed in the paper. Okay, and this is called absorption. As we all know, sugar loves water. How did we know that? Just try at home, take a glass of water and put a few sugar cubes in it. In a few minutes, you'll start seeing that the size of the sugar cubes starts reducing. That is, they start getting dissolved and absorbed in the water. So we all know sugar and water love each other. So as we put the paper in the water started quickly going around the sugar molecules, which is nothing but how paper is made. And finally, when it started absorbing, it went everywhere it could go. So when we put our flower in the water, from the bud, from the base, it started absorbing water and going outside to the petals. So what we learned? We learned that water climbs up against gravity through paper. That's how it went up, right? When you jump, you come down. You don't stay up or you don't go up. That's how. But water still went up because it liked sugar molecules. And that's how water climbs up from the roots to the flower through stem. This is called capillary action. So now that we've learned this, let's go to our worksheets. So here is our worksheet. So let's see what is the first question. What pulls you down when you jump? So guys, have you all tried to jump? Why don't you all stand where you are and try to jump? Where do you come? You come down. Why do you come down? That is because of Earth's gravity. Sincere gravity. Okay. Which bloom faster? Tick one of the below. So I'm not going to solve this for you. You can find that out when you actually do the experiment. Next. What is water made up of? Tick one of the below. Option A, air molecules. Option B, sugar molecules. Option C, water molecules. Let's go back to our sheet. So this was the first step. How was paper made? Paper is made up of sugar molecules. So that's our answer. Let's find the option. That is option B. Okay, next question. Fill in the blanks. When paper touches water, okay, water molecule starts filling empty dash between sugar molecules and water dash in the paper. Okay, let's go back to a sheet. What is step 2? When there are, what are these? Between the molecules, there are empty air spaces. I think that's our first fill in the blank. Yes, there are, start filling empty air spaces between sugar molecules in paper, and water dash in the paper. Let's see our step 3. When paper touches water, water molecule starts filling up the airspace and gets absorbed. So that's our last one. Whoa, that was quick. Okay, what is the second last question? How does water climb from the root to the flowers? Tick one of the below. Because of gravity, B because of air, C because of capillary action. We know because of gravity, everybody and everything comes down and doesn't go up. So how was it going up? Is it because of air? I don't think so. I think it's because of capillary action. Water climbs up against gravity through paper is called capillary action. For example, plants moving water from root to flowers through stem. Last question. Water climbing up the paper against gravity is called capillary action, like we just read. So kids, I hope that you really enjoyed this experiment. If you want us to do more of these STEM activities with you, please let us know on our website www.thesparkclub.in. Thank you.